So I had the opportunity during my internship to talk to various people in the program and felt that this was a very good program. So as I was negotiating for my position here, I did a number of things. I negotiated for somebody to do an external review of the program. And two, to be able to add 2 faculty members into the program. And I got somebody from Washington State who came here and did a national review of the program. I met with him for a couple of days and made a recommendation that this was a strong program. It has potential. It needs to be better integrated into the program. It needs support and faculty expertise and all that. So I was able to negotiate with the then dean to add 2 faculty positions into the current thing, which is what I did. And that was how Dr. Saginaw, who was here, and there was Dr. Kimberly Guiderman, who came initially, but had to leave. I also was able to get an additional position, Dr. DIAC. So, Dr. Guiderman left in 2007. And so we were able to convert, we needed somebody from industry to come in and with expertise, and that was how Dr. Anderson came in. And in late 2008, 2009, or late 2008, Dr. Shakaway, who has been the coordinator of the program for a while, indicated that he was retiring. And so I had Saginaw and I were kind of the interim, although he did most of the work, interim coordinator of the program. And we did a national search and we were able to get Professor to be the coordinator of the program in 2009. Shortly after that, there was an external review of the program. And during that external review, we had people that basically was of the department, but the other programs were accredited. So the 2 programs that were not accredited, the MSLD program and the PhD program, there were external reviewers who reviewed it. And they made some excellent recommendations. In fact, basically they said that the program, as a matter of fact, I'll read it out because I have the information here, that the program was an excellent program. I'll read some things for you here. I'll read it. The primary thrust of the Anikef McFarland report was that the land development program and its MSLD degree are in a good position to become a major force in the property development and education research. It has a strong resource base, an enthusiastic faculty, and a new leadership that makes us so positive about the future. The program can develop to be a strong international program if it can integrate more with other programs in the college and abroad. And then some restructuring of the program is essential. And so they gave a number of recommendations that we translated into a number of very specific initiatives that we have implemented. For example, includes the doing an outcome assessment that will focus explicitly on the core knowledge and skills and competencies, and to use those as the basis for structuring the program. Other things, developing an effective internal-external relations with our constituents. Restructuring the curriculum itself. And so we went ahead and developed these initiatives and actually implemented them. And that was how the new MSLD program came about. It was a program that was clearly defined leveling courses, competencies, specializations, and all that. And so this program was formally approved by the Board of Regents, by the Higher Education Coordinating Board, which is the board that regulates all the universities in Texas, public universities. And so on February 15th last year, which meant that beginning the fall of 2012, any students who got into the program will be an MLPD program. And students before that, that got in at the MSLD, will do that, or they can elect to go into the new program. And they go into the new program, they will meet the requirements of the new program. And so, but what was approved was as we started trying to sort it out, we found that really what was in the papers was a credit that was, because what was submitted was 40, I think it was 45 credits. But what was in the MSLD, initial MSLD thing that was approved was something like about 36 or something like that. I think 33 or 36, one of them. Okay. So what it then meant was that if we had to implement the new program, we had to sometimes go back to 36, not 45 that was initially done. And we're currently in the process of being able to develop that 36 credit curriculum. And we've done some preliminary work with regard to the program. And the preliminary work involves the key courses that you currently have. We'll change the name of some of the courses. Say, for example, 667 will become 660. You have 661. There's 663, and a discussion about integrating with 672, which is public-private partnership. There is 664 market analysis. There's 668, I think residential property development, yes. Then 669 income property development, 671 sustainable development, and I've talked about 672. And then there's possibility of, and we're restructuring the number. By the way, I forgot to mention 661, which would be you're currently 687. Yeah. And then probably we talked about having a capstone, that's one of the requirements of the new curriculum. You either had a capstone or pursued research. The two things you did. And so we do have that. And then there was a discussion about having a formal seminar, having a portfolio course. I don't know what I'm missing up. That's the general thing. And the intent is to finalize this option and put it through the, it has to be approved by the university in terms of curriculum and all that. But it is not for this coming year. If anything that will happen, everything remains where it is. It is proposed for 2014-2015 academic year. It's currently going along as we've done this particular year. So I do see some strengths with the program. Revamped curriculum that is linked to the core knowledge and competencies that becomes the driver for the curriculum. That's number one. Number two, we talked about establishing a certificate. A certificate that, two components of that, we're working on that. A certificate that has a component that actually provides for people who don't want to invest in the whole degree, provides the opportunity for them to have a certificate in land development. But also have an executive certificate that will be available to others. And that is in the works. We're still trying to write out the thing. The major challenge we've had is declining numbers. And so, and we're doing some things about it. So if you need to assist us, we've been able to turn that up, the numbers up. When people are employed, the first role they do is they're faculty member, and they always continue to be a faculty member. They may have other additional roles, but fundamentally, they are faculty members, which is they teach in the program, they advise students, they conduct research and stuff like that. So we have 3 faculty members in the program: Professor Booth, Dr. Saginaw, Dr. Anderson. Those are the 3 faculty members we have in the program. As I move ahead, I'm not going through a transition. What I'm thinking of is what I'm still trying to, I'm not articulated very, very well in terms of what I call distributed leadership. And what it means that each person has a pie with respect to the program for which they're responsible. I'm still going through a transitional period and this and that, but I'm trying to articulate it in this and that. So, what I want to assure you all is that you have a program. And as a matter of fact, from what I hear from the people who recently graduated, in fact, some people who are graduated and all that, the placement is becoming good and stronger. And so we will have, I firmly believe that we'll have a strong program. In fact, we're in the process of doing that going forward. So at this point, I'll be very happy to entertain any questions I have.
What can Rita, as current students, what can we do to get those numbers up?
Many things, and I will need your so I just look at there's some things that are already in place going on, and we just need to strengthen those things that are going on. But I'll give you some sample of things that, for example, we do with the other programs and all that. We, if I take our undergraduate program, I use that because it's one of the programs also that is challenged, and it's not only in terms of numbers. In fact, the 2 undergraduate programs are challenged in terms of numbers, but we're trying to reverse it and all that. When the advisory board for the landscape architecture and planning program, they've agreed that, for example, if somebody calls this and that, somebody who's interested in the program, they're willing to talk to that person. What we do is that when somebody expresses an interest and all that kind of thing, with our undergraduate programs, we actually get the student body to actually, we'll ask them, can we get in touch with you? And they say yes. We'll actually get somebody, a student, to actually talk to that person, just in case there are anything they may have. And when we send them a letter, or when they agree that they have accepted or they've been admitted into the program, we actually follow up. We'll have a student actually call us, say, do you have any questions you may have? I think that's one way. On that way, it's, you're not alone. Here, you're in a place where there are other, I don't want, that's not what I'm not trying. It's just that, maybe it's a slow process and it will finally emerge with some great results. But, you're here with other faculty members, other students in the college, and there have been many of them. We're beginning to see also, and it's growing, our undergraduate students particularly, who have an articulated program. It's 3+2, with the BS in Urban and Regional Planning. And we're beginning to see some movement in that area in terms of students who are interested. You finish on BS and BS record. So those are avenues, and I'm happy for any suggestions you may have. So, but I think there's a role for the reader in terms of being able to help with recruitment. It's just we need to just sit down together and put our thoughts together in terms of what are the most effective ways we can put in our energy and get the best bulk out of it, make the greatest impact. Yes, please.
So who will be going forward in charge of reader? Will it be amongst all author and the professors?
I'm trying to sort that out very
Still.
carefully. I'm trying to sort that out very. This has been a very, very busy semester, and I'll be able to sort that out in terms of being able, like I said, being able to break up the tasks and all kind of things, and give each person a lead in terms of what it's supposed to be. So I don't know that answer for sure on that.
My question is on the courses. If you say you are reducing credit hours from 45 to below, so on what basis are you doing that? Is it like those who will come in 2014, 2015, will have less of what we have right now, or how are you doing it?
What we have right now, the way it is right now, is to be able to maintain the number of credits we have and have the MLPD program go through, is that they're the course that count as leveling courses, basically, as current program right now, they count as leveling courses, and then on top of that leveling classes, the 36 credit limit that is required by the whatever. What we will, and that is part of this current program, but we'll move to this 36 credit program is that we're only counting, we presume that you've taken the leveling courses, the course that you need. And so we're only counting the courses that are the core, that is, you're required to complete to finish the program. So to clean it that way.
Because I remember I asked the department just not long ago how to have the electives, the leveling courses.
Yeah, but you made a request to, particularly if you're asking that question, you made a request to translate some of your leveling courses into the core courses, and we said no.
As electives.
Yeah, but given your particular situation, I had people review this and that, it will not work in your situation in terms of what you're asking.
So will the number of courses actually be reduced or just like rearranged? That's why I'm not clear.
Well, in the 36-hour curriculum, it would be. I'll mention the courses that count. Let me repeat that. I think I can recall. Yes, yeah.
No, okay. I see what you're saying. The ones that you listed earlier, but there are none that are being eliminated because, like, really, we don't have enough time to learn all we need to learn anyway.
No,
there's
what is
courses.
presuming that you should take care of the leveling things, except for the things you need to take care of.
Okay.
Before you get in, basically, will count when you get into the program, basically.
Okay. And what about the certificates, and how do those play into the program?
In this new model, it will be difficult to have certificates. The model that had certificates was such there was 33 courses that counted, and there was 12. If you wanted a certificate, there was 12 credits there that you can use for a certificate. This does not mean that you cannot pursue certificates, but strictly within the program. If you pursue the certificate, you might have to spend a longer time. It also depends on your preparation before you come in. And it depends on how many credits you want to take per semester. Yeah. But if you want to, if you think of this way, if you have, say, 36 credits, and you take 12, 12, 12, with 12, 12, 11, or 12, 11, whatever, it's hard for you to get a certificate within that time frame.
Agreed.
Now, if you increase the number of courses you're taking, and maybe take an extra course in the summer, or stay longer when you graduate for one more semester, then you can achieve some of those things. But to be competitive in terms of the other programs and that, we want to separate the bones and the flesh so that you know what the target is.
And does this 36 credit hours include mandatory internship? Or
Yes,
equivalent?
it does.
That means you're going to be 37 or something.
No. The way it works out, it will include, there will be there will be a 1 credit portfolio, there will be a 1 credit seminar, there will be a 1 credit internship.
And when do you hope for this to start? 2014?
2014, yeah, because we have to put in the formal curriculum thing through the university, and that is the contract that then we have with students who are coming in. Because basically your curriculum, what you have listed in the catalog, is the contract that we have with you, and we have to deliver that contract.
So how is that going to affect people? I mean, probably no one in this room but me. How is that going to affect people who started, like myself, in the MSLB, now MLPD, and now it's still going to be MLPD, but it's just going to be structured differently?
You know that MSL does not exist after
Right.
September.
No,
After September. Okay.
No, I understand that.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is, once, I'm kind of thinking in the future here, I'm probably still going to be here if and when that transition happens, or the restructuring of courses and merging courses and whatnot. How's it going to affect people who are in the MLP?
I will think through that. We just we've not even decided that. We'll think through that.
Are the courses we need still going to be offered, I guess?
Yeah.
Let me tell you, the courses the only course really, to the best of my knowledge, currently that will not be offered will be the 665, the trends.
Okay.
That's the only one, to the best of my knowledge, will not be offered. Yeah, please.
663?
663 will still be offered. It's still,
Oh,
it's
now?
yes, still until, yes. As everything will continue, this and that, yeah. But the one that I know that will not be offered, it's not listed as 665 credits.
So all the other courses are basically either being combined or just renamed?
There's only one. If you
One.
combine, it will be 662 and 672 and 663. There's no other one that is being here.
Okay.
And one thing's kind of going forward that I really liked was making it a mandatory speaker series in the spring. Can you kind of expand on that? And I know that that's something that the MREs do, and they seem to have a really good turnout whenever they do that. We went and sat in on one of those guest lectures, and it went really well. Can you kind of expand on the thought process behind that?
What I know is that, Professor Booth, he has worked hard to work on that thing. And it takes the level of work it takes to get everybody to be there. It's problematic. It's high. And so, in this, yet recognizing that it's a need to have that kind of exposure to these professionals that enhances the program. And so the idea then is to have one semester in which it is at some point in the program you're required to take it. So it's formalized. And then there'll still be opportunity for reader to be able to have the evening lections in the other semester. That's kind of the general articulation.
And kind of bringing it back to current times, can you kind of mentioned in our meeting earlier about the contract between the students and the university as far as finishing the courses that you start.
Yeah, that's what I said. The catalog is a contract. So if you came in and said we're going to deliver those things, we're going to deliver it. So yes, that's basically what it is. Your catalog is a contract. So what it means that within all things being equal, or close to being equal, whatever you came in and you were told you're going to be, will generally be that. There might be sometimes exceptions, but in general, that's the contract that you have. Yes, please.
I guess, I don't know, I just kind of want to pose this question to everyone else too. We just wanted to have this so anyone who was concerned about anything could ask, Dr. NDUBISI himself. So, I don't know, what else are you guys concerned about going forward with your degree plan, with Rita, with anything about the program? Do you have anything else? What are you worried about going forward?
I don't know, from what I've heard, I think a lot of people, but they've expressed concern with the program not existing anymore in some short term, 3-4 years, whatever that may be. I don't know if that's even, you're shaking your head no, that's...
No. Believe me, I value the program. And I also believe that where it is lodged is also equally important. I think that planners and landscape architects should know something about finance. And in turn, they themselves should know something about, you guys should know something about public domain. And I think it's a very healthy relationship. So there's a strong asset there. At least as long as I'm still here. No, I'm not saying that because I've had pressures in the past to do something else, but I just wanted to assure you that me, if I'm still here, the program will still be here, except something happens to me. Yes, I just wanted to, yes, yeah. Yes,
How
please.
many students from other programs actually attend these classes from this program?
How many?
Like construction science students and stuff like that. How many students from other programs?
Okay, I'll leave it to you guys to answer.
I mean, like in the market analysis class, I think less than half of it was actually land development students. And the public-private class, I think there were 3 or 4 from, at least 2 from the business school.
There were about 4, I think.
And more? I think some were construction science. Yeah.
I think that's also another thing with having a certificate in land development. That's going to increase our exposure to other students too. They're actually going to be aware of that program if they get into one of the classes and they like it. Hey, I can do a dual degree program.
In fact, it can be an excellent recruiting tool. I'm excited about it. Because not only that, because sometimes when they count our numbers, sometimes what is a shame is that when you're doing a dual degree here, they don't count, put it this way, you have your primary program and your secondary program. They'll only count you towards your numbers, towards your primary program. However, the student FTs you generate by taking courses in the land development program counts towards the program itself. So to increase the viability of the program, if we have, say, a certificate in which students from around the college or other places take courses, for those courses that our faculty teach, we'll get the credit for those courses. We may not get the head count in terms of number of people in the program, or at least we get a credit for that.
Any question? Are the MRE students allowed to take any of the MLPD courses that they want, or are they limited on selection that way? Because I know we're kind of limited on the MRE courses that we're allowed to take,
Yeah.
so I didn't know.
It would be
So-
nice.
Is that up to the professors? I don't know.
He doesn't want to cause trouble.
I mean, really, I personally would have liked to take like a finance class over there, but I don't think that we were really allowed to.
The ones that we have a negotiated things are the 670 and 676. Those ones we have something at the outset. Yeah. I mean, those ones we can guarantee our students for that. Yeah.
I think outreach should be done to the urban planners. I hear a lot of them talking about they're interested in the program, and then I think a lot of people also wait because they're focused on their thing and they don't understand that they're going to be here literally forever if they don't get started. And so I think a really strong push for a lot of those urban planners would be beneficial to our program because they are interested, they talk about it. In even outside of conversations like with me, so they're just talking amongst themselves and over in the computer area, and I hear this and I say, y'all should get busy right now. And I think by the time they realize, okay, now I'm ready to they also want to get out of here. So I would suggest talking to them a lot.
The point is well taken.
That's kind of where I came from too. Is I was in the urban planning undergrad, and I didn't know about the 3+2 until it was already too late.
Yeah.
For me. I know there were several of us that didn't even know about it, and so if we were going to do that, I think that'd be a good idea to get that information out there early, because as an undergrad, you don't realize how early you need to start.
Right.
Like you're saying, and
It's also relatively new, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to add on to that. I came to this program through kind of the cross-elective. I took one of Dr. Anderson's classes and a couple of Jeffrey's classes, and I was interested in this. And it might help to recruit more from other degrees if they know how easy it is to apply it if you're already in the college. Like for me, I just talked to Dina, and she's like, "Yeah, I'll take your application." And because you have a lot on file already because you're in another grad program, so I think that might be a barrier. People are like, "Oh, I don't want to apply to another thing, I might not get in, but if they know how easy it is to apply, I mean, they still might not be accepted, but the application process is significantly simpler.
Do you mind providing any details about your meeting with the DIAC, what their reactions were, what their suggestions were?
Yeah, well, basically what I met with DIAC was similar to what I just did here and all that kind of thing. We discussed the enrollment, and they very specifically mentioned to me that we should tell them specifically what specific areas they would like to help us in. And so I mentioned to them, and sometime this summer, it's a very rapidly fast semester, that I'll be able to get back to them and all kind of thing in terms of more specifics. And you're also asking about reader, just maybe you all can also help me out. If there are very specific things you think that, it's not that the main things being done. I have to mention that Professor Booth has done many things, it's on that. So it's like building upon what we've done. It's not like, everything is new. Yes, please.
As one of the older guys, it doesn't affect me as much, but
God, you're so crusty.
with the younger guys in the MLPD, I guess one of my concerns would be from their standpoint with the less hours would be keeping the integrity of the degree. Because as an appraiser, I've talked to a lot of commercial appraisers in Houston in the past year. And a lot of those guys are old Lear graduates, which was pre-MRE. That was the MRE program before it was the MRE program back 30 years ago when I was here in Ag Eco. And the Ag Eco department had it, and then Mays took it over and changed it to the MRE program. And they tried for years to hire MREs to become commercial appraisers because they went through the Lear program, and that's how they became commercial appraisers. And the MRE program is not recognizable to them anymore from what the Lear program was. So, when I explained to them about what this program is, they said, well, that sounds more like what we went through in the Lear program, and we didn't even know it existed. So, we don't get the word out there enough about this program, one, but when you cut the hours, as if I would have had an MLPD degree, I would have potential concerns about when they cut the hours of the degree, keeping the integrity of that degree.
The core curriculum is 33 credits. Core curriculum. But what you're required to take with the current thing is 33 credits. So really, when you say cutting it, it's not necessarily cutting it. The point is that because the core things, and that core curriculum of 33 is translated into this new, the new offerings. With the 3 extra credits being I think, to the best of my account, the 1 credit portfolio requirement, 1 credit seminar requirement, and internship, something like that. Yes, something like that. Yeah. So the other thing, the other 12 they can use to get a certificate or something, or do something else. So it's not really, basically, what you get is your core.
So I mean, it would just be nice to know that, in 10 years from now, when these guys come back to hire people, that they know what they're getting.
You're getting the caucuses of the program.
That the students are still...
They're still competitive, yeah.
I mean, the main prep we got was turning into a 2-year program. Would kill any possibility of anybody from the private sector who has a job now, not like undergrad coming in, but private sector coming back, and wouldn't stay here for 2 years. But most other programs comparable to ours are 36 credits. So from that
I like the 36 credit idea.
But so the only thing we're getting rid of are all the electives.
Yeah, what you don't get is as part of the program.
Right.
But you can.
You stay.
If you want that, you can add to that. Yes, yeah.
take them 1 or 2 hours.
Like to forget.
I got one I'd like to forget.
You're having fun to say.
It's a learning experience. That's what
So
we're-
I'm actually MSLD. I did not change because I wanted to do the professional paper because I feel that that is a better demonstration of what I've learned here. So I likely won't. I'm just staying longer. I've done several certificates, so I'm kind of doing it like a little more than the core, right? So I probably won't be graduating officially until December. Do I have to change to MLPD? Because you said something about September.
No. If you no.
Oh,
Put it
okay.
this way: if you got in after September 1st, 2012.
I see. You weren't talking about this coming September.
September 2012.
So I'm tracking. I'm good.
Yeah. So whatever it's, if you got in before,
Whatever you come in as.
yeah. September 2012, then.
Then it was MLPD.
Yeah, very good, yes, yeah. Anything before that, that's, yeah.
Okay.
Any questions?